Hey, yo, guys, there's another wrestling pay-per-view coming up. So you know what that means? We're here. And this is an honor. You can see the Impact t-shirts. You can see the MOW t-shirt. And if you look in the corner, yeah, we normally throw it up. But this is a guy who's got the official rights to throw it up. The one, the only, ultimate finesser, Mr. Chris Bey. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. And since I'm in the house, that means you can throw it up as well. We all throw it up now because I'm in the house, all right? You got the green light.
This was the
Thank you.
Are we actually allowed to do this?
You got the green light. You got the green light. I'm here. I'm here. Ministry of Wrestling. We're doing it. Let's make it happen.
I love that. Thank you for that, Chris. That's an honor. Razor Ramon is going to be very happy about that.
So thank you, Chris. That has made our day already, and thank you for joining us here. This is something that we've longed to do, and we've got that. So the first question we want to ask you, if you don't mind, is with the whole journey of Chris Bey. Who were your inspirations? What was your first passion, first memory of wrestling that said you wanted to get into the business?
Yeah, man. So for me, I knew that early on, wrestling was what I loved. It was the first thing that I saw that I identified, but it was probably around 2004 time, 2005, when I really started to realize that it was what I wanted to do. I was probably about 8 or 9 years old around this time. And I knew okay, this is what I want to do with my life. It was when I was watching guys like Eddie Guerrero. But then, when I would switch over and see, TNA wrestling, and I'd see guys like AJ Styles, guys like Petey Williams, the Sanjay Dutts, the Christopher Daniels, the Frankie Kazarians, I'd see these guys. And for me, even though I was still young, I knew that I wasn't going to be the biggest guy. I knew that already subconsciously. That looking at how my brothers were built and how my dad built my mom, I knew that I wasn't going to be the biggest guy. So watching the X Division and watching these incredible performers who were doing stuff like I've never seen before, I knew, okay, there's an avenue for me in this business. There is something that will be for me in this business. And that was kind of how I knew that I could do this.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I know that you mentioned your family, your mom, your dad, and your brothers. You're the youngest of you're number 6, aren't you?
Yeah,
so,
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, they. So I imagine some beatings were exchanged growing up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I was the bump dummy. I had to take all the moves, and any move that they saw on TV, they say don't try this at home. We didn't listen to that. I was the doll. I was the doll. I would use the teddy bear. They would use me. So it was a chain of command in the house.
So with all that preparation, how did it actually feel when you first time got in the ring?
Oh, it felt like I was home. A lot of people say that they were born to do this. I truly believe that I was, and I am, because I pick up things so fast and things just kind of come naturally to me. And I'm one of the type of people where you only got to tell me once for me to get it, especially when it comes to wrestling, because it's all I ever wanted. It's all I've ever envisioned. It's all I've ever watched growing up. I used to, purposely avoid other things in life so I could solely focus on wrestling and my interest in wrestling. And as crazy as that is now to look back on as an adult and think how much I could have set myself up for failure, I think I did myself a service, because the moment I first stepped in the ring, I felt like I was home. I felt like I was exactly where I belong. I feel like it's the only place where, even though I felt like it's the only place that I'm not judged, It's where I feel most comfortable.
That is awesome. And do you know what? As wrestling fans, we've always said that, we look at other situations and we can see it can be quite toxic, but wrestling's always felt quite homely. Any show we've been to has always had a great experience. So for that, I think that's absolutely awesome. And that's great to hear that. And I was talking of finding a home. Again, I'm going to throw up the logo right here. You had a couple of matches. You started on Impact, had a couple of matches there before getting the contract. Then they offered you the contract. How was that experience, getting that offer to be on a mainstream channel like Impact?
It was everything that I had ever worked for. So it was a little bit surreal when it was actually happening, but it also was the plan. So as much as it was surreal, I also knew that from that moment on, my life would never be the same. but it was exactly where I was supposed to be. You know, like you said, I had a couple matches before actually getting a contract. So after that very first match that I had when the Rascals were making their official Rascal debut and they beat up myself and Matt Seidel or Mike Seidel, I'm sorry, excuse me, the brother of Matt Seidel, Mike Seidel, they beat us up. And I knew from that moment when I got back to the back, I said, yeah, this is where I want to be. This is the place where I want to work. This locker room, this environment, this company, you know, being a TNA fan growing up, and here I am, this new version of Impact Wrestling, which we all know, you know, I've had its ups and downs. I told myself, I said, this is a place that I want to be, and not only just because of what I feel here, but also because I could be a part of, you know, this resurgence and rebranding and making people love this place again more than ever before. You know, any doubts that they had, I could dispel those things. So for a year, up until I got that contract, it was a year straight, you know, 12 months exactly of me, you know, purposely and meticulously and specifically targeting the contract with Impact Wrestling and trying to get Impact Wrestling to sign me and be interested in me. So I was watching the product, thinking to myself, what do they have that they, or what don't they have, you know, that they need? What can I be that they don't have? You know, like I'm watching for all these reasons so I could specifically fit the mold of that while also being authentically myself. So it was very strategic. So when they finally offered me the contract, it was surreal because, like, you know, some people work their whole lives and don't get it. And I got it. So for that part, it was surreal. But I also knew, like, okay, now we really start, because this is where it goes. Now I'm in the ring all the time with all the top guys, you know, like not just a one-off here and there. Like once I sign this deal, every time I get in that ring now, I'm representing the company. And every time I get in the ring, I'm in there with the beast. So like it's time to bring out the beast in me.
I mean, yeah, you mentioned like being in there with the top guys, but the company actually saw you as a top guy. And how did it feel getting a shot at the title?
Yeah. Wow. I was still so young when it was all happening that, like, it was hard for me to really process it. You know, there's that visual of me after I gave Rich Swann the Art of Finesse back in 2020, and I hold up the Impact World Championship. And if you look at that clip, I'm literally shaking. And like, people a few times have asked me, like, why are you shaking, you know, so hard when you're holding that championship? And I always tell them, like, it's the power of the world championship. Like, you don't understand the power of what that world championship possessed, you know. But in reality, it was like, I could feel the 14-year-old me holding up the TNA World Championship replica. Like, I could feel that as I was holding up the real, you know, Impact World Championship in my hands. I could feel it. I could feel it like possessing me. And I was like, this is what I want right here. This is what I need. This is what I crave right here. And it wasn't until, you know, a couple years after that where I was really able to look back at that and go, you know what? That's insane. That's insane that I was actually able to do this, you know. And now being two-time World Tag Team Champion, holding the championships with my partner Ace Austin, beating the Machine Guns the first time around for it, you know, like, it's insane being X Division champion. When I won the X Division championship at Slammiversary, I remember on my Uber back to the hotel Googling, you know, how many X Division champions were there in history, and seeing first champion AJ Styles, current champion Chris Bey, and I was like, oh snap, yeah, this is real. Like, yeah, it's right here in my lap. This ain't no replica, you know. This is the real thing. It's real life right now, you know. Like, it's all been surreal. I'm just trying to enjoy the ride.
You literally took the next question out of my mouth, being like, there was holding the title that you haven't been crowned with, but being like living the dream, holding an X Division title, two-time tag team champ, that must have been like such an honor. And to be able to Google it and see it official there, being recognized by everyone, is such an awesome feeling. But now let's talk about it. Current tag team champ for Impact Wrestling, you and Ace Austin, ABC, doing the thing, throwing it up.
Yeah.
How, like, that whole moment, being invited into Bullet Club by one of the all-time greats that is Jay White, joining that, forming that tag team, how did it actually become that you guys were going to go into like the tag, because you've done so much in the singles world, forming into a tag team, because you could be Bullet Club without being a tag team, saying you guys are going to go for it and just dominate in the way you guys have. How did that come about?
So the great thing about Impact Wrestling is that they will always give you a chance. You know, if you are on their roster, they will always give you a chance to make something happen. You know, and Ace and I were both just doing things. You know, we were in a scramble here to both try to become #1 contender for the X Division champion, or we're in the scramble for the X Division championship. You know, we're both just kind of doing stuff, getting these opportunities. And then one day we show up for Against All Odds, and it's okay. Tonight it's, you know, Chris Bey and Ace Austin versus the Motor City Machine Guns. And we're like, nope, you know, like, okay, why? So we have the team tonight for the first time, and we got to go against, you know, arguably the greatest tag team in TNA wrestling history, the Motor City Machine Guns. No pressure, right? Okay, cool. But I think Ace and I both already knowing each other for a while, already being a fan of each other very casually, you know, and then also being on the other side of the ring from each other, we knew each other pretty well. And we both knew, okay, the tag team division is always a great place to be. We both want to be world champion one day, but we can both help each other in this moment reach our ultimate goal of being Triple Crown winners, because we both don't have tag team championships on our resume. He's a 3-time X Division champion. I thought the X Division championship. So we both looked at it from that perspective, where we're like, you know, if we do this right, we could really help each other out here, you know, in this division. We could also, you know, help our company create something new and unique. You know, TNA is known for having these cool tag teams like Motor City Machine Guns, LAX, Beer Money, you know, America's Most Wanted, you know, all these great tag teams that have come and gone throughout the course of history, but made a stamp on tag team wrestling. You know, you can even throw Generation Me in there, right? All these tag teams that have made a stamp on it. We saw this as an opportunity. We're like, you know what? We're both in Bullet Club. There's this opportunity for us both to help each other out here. We know each other well. If we can last in the ring with the Motor City Machine Guns, then we might have something. And we didn't win that match, but we did, I think, win the respect of the Motor City Machine Guns. And I think that the Impact fans saw something that night that we also felt. We were like, okay, if we actually put a little bit of something into this, we could get something out of it. And then New Japan gave us the offer to come do the tournament, you know, the tag tournament, tag league last year. And that's where we really just locked in as a tag team, and everything just made perfect sense. And we built a brotherhood and a friendship that, you know, he's one of my best friends now, easily. And now we have the tag team championships after beating the Rascals at Bound for Glory. And we plan to lead TNA into this new generation as the TNA World Tag Team Champions and show, like I said, Motor City Machine Guns arguably the best tag team in TNA wrestling history. We talk about the past. When we talk about current TNA, the new generation, we're going to be talking about ABC.
Yeah, and again, you've kind of led really nicely into the next part, Chris, because you talk about old school. You've mentioned AJ Styles, the greatest tag teams in TNA history, and those three letters are now coming back. TNA.
Yeah.
How did you respond to that?
Like the rest of the world, I ripped my shirt off and yelled and screamed in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's great. Ever since I signed, everybody, you know, they either know it. So I go, yeah, I work for Impact Wrestling. I go, oh, you work for TNA? Or I go, you know, yeah, I'm on wrestling. And they go, yeah, you wrestle for TNA, don't you? So like the fans in their core, that's what they know. That's what they want to say. That's what they want to, you know, want to support. So it only makes sense that we go back to that. It only makes sense that everybody gets what they want, you know, in this scenario, whether it be the fans and also the locker room, because we're all, you know, we all grew up as TNA fans, and or some of the people who worked there worked for TNA, you know, and still are here to this day, or came back to the company, like Frankie Kazarian, you know, the Eric Youngs, these guys who were a part of that, you know, who would come back to it. They know that TNA had an impact on wrestling that is why wrestling, a lot of professional wrestling is what it is today. So for us to be going back to that, it only makes sense, and it gives people something to be excited about. It gives people something to want to tune into every Thursday on Access or Impact Plus, Impact Insiders, whatever you have on DAZN. We're everywhere. No excuses. You can watch TNA wrestling, and it's starting in my place, Las Vegas, on January 13th at Hard to Kill at the Palms. It's going to be too sweet.
Too sweet. Indeed. That is the one. And that is what it's all about, because you are looking at one half of the official last Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champs.
I'll grab the belt. I'll grab the belt. See it. What's all about it? Call it out. This is what I'm saying. I get it. I'll pull it out. Don't challenge me with a good time. It's right here. It's right here. It's staying right here for the rest of the interview.
And that, bro, I'm loving that, because that's what we're going to be seeing going into Final Resolution. And like, nothing against Myers and Edwards, but we've been authorized by Chris Bey to throw this up. So you 100%, you had our vote before, you've got it now. So hopefully ABC will be walking in to January into TNA as the tag team champs. And there's only one way for you guys to find out. Chris said it before, whether it's on Fight TV, whether it's on DAZN, Impact Plus, Impact Insider, it's everywhere, guys. Be sure to check out Final Resolution, which is going to be an absolute awesome pay-per-view, because it's the last one of Impact, and it's just ushering in that new generation. That is TNA.
And listen to me, I have to rectify the loss that I had at Final Resolution 2020 when I did not capture the championship from Rich Swann. I didn't walk out the world champion that night, but I will walk out a Final Resolution in 2023 as your final Impact World Tag Team Champion with Ace Austin, because like you said, nothing against Brian Myers, nothing against Eddie Edwards, but they are not the ABC. They are not ranked 6th tag team in the world this year in PWI. They were not that. We are that. We are those guys. We've been tagging for just a little bit over a year, and we have 5 championships to prove just how good that we are. So many countries under our belt, so many more to come in the year 2024 with TNA Wrestling. These are going nowhere. They're being retired with us, and we need some new gold.
Oh, I love that.
I'm loving it.
Chris,
just before questions.
Yeah, what? Go on.
We missed you at Turning Point, Chris. We missed you at Turning Point, so we are looking forward to seeing you on UK shores. I just want to throw that out.
Yeah. We're still waiting, Chris.
I'm gonna be there. Don't worry, I'm gonna be there. We sent some heavy hitters out there. We gave Ace and I look. Listen. I'm gonna be honest, guys. We were celebrating a little too long from Down for Glory. Okay? We were celebrating a little too long. We got a little carried away, but we're back on track. We will be there next time, boys.
I'm gonna hold you to that, man. Chris, what we like to do here on Ministry, just as we come to the end of our segment, is go beyond the ring with a quick 1-minute rapid fire round, just so people can know you, beyond the ultimate finesse, that which is too sweet. So if you're cool with it, we're just going to fire some quick questions. It's kind of 1 or 2 word answers if you're happy with that.
Let's do it.
Match you're most proud of to have competed in?
We will go the Ultimate X with the Motor City Machine Guns and Ace Austin, Rebellion.
Okay, what about your cheat meal?
My cheat meal would probably be a box of donuts. Ace Austin gets me on that. Yeah. You said meal? Yeah, box of donuts.
If you had to skip a day in the gym, which would it be?
Which day would it be?
Arm day, leg day, back day?
We would probably make it back day. I get bored training back these days.
And dream match with any current wrestler?
Any current wrestler, where he wants to call himself Mr. TNA these days, but he signed to All Elite Wrestling. What's that William Ospreay guy up to?
I'd pay much money to see that.
That guy.
I would love to see that.
How about a dream match with an opponent who no longer wrestles or is even no longer with us?
Eddie Guerrero.
Nice. The stiffest opponent you faced?
Oh, man. Speedball Mike Bailey. That guy kicks hard.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Is he also
a hard hitter?
Snopper?
Hardest chopper is Eddie Edwards, hands down.
Eddie Edwards, okay.
Good luck on the good luck on the pay-per-view.
Listen, I've been there, done that. He's ain't going nowhere. I ain't worried about it. I might borrow a D-Lo chest protector. I'm gonna be good to go.
Love it.
Most gifted opponent you faced?
I would probably put that, as much as I don't want to say it, Trey Miguel.
Whoa. And the last one, your favorite match when you were growing up to watch?
My favorite match to watch growing up would probably be the triple threat between Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, and Samoa Joe.
That's lovely.
Classic.
Awesome.
Classic. Okay,
Can't beat
look,
that
you don't need it. First, you don't need it, but I'm going to say it one more time. Absolute best of luck to you guys, because I'm waiting to see you guys walking into TNA as the tag team champs. I believe ABC should be retiring the Impact tag team titles. And once again, guys, final resolution. The champ is with us. Be sure to tune in. Impact Plus, Fight TV. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be a great one. And it's the last one of Impact Wrestling. Do not miss it. So from myself, the one AJ Anthony Jordan.
And right over here, and I get to throw it up for real now. Double V, me too, Nico Nero. It's been too sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thanks so much, Chris. We appreciate you, bro.